first thing we're going to talk about today, we got a lot of rookies coming into the NFL, and they all had their preseason debuts. So I guess we're going to rank them. I, I'm sure we all have different ranks, so I don't know how we're gonna. Do we want to start with the worst first and make our way to the top?
Sure. Do you want to bounce off of each other, or do you want to just run down our whole list in one sitting?
I think we should. I think there's definitely a top pack and low pack, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
And there's 5 of them. So if we want to start out at 5, I think, and if anybody disagrees, obviously jump in, but I think the worst performance, if you look at the whole tape, not just the highlights, was Trey Lance.
Really?
Yes. Trey Lance has one 80-yard bomb where the guy is wide open, and everything else, like he's literally like throwing passes into the dirt.
I mean, you can make that argument.
5 for 14.
Yeah. So that's not good. Like, that's bad.
Yeah, it's not great, especially compared, you know.
So does anybody have a problem with Trey Lance being 5?
I would personally, for my 5, I think it was Trevor.
See, I have Trevor at 4 because although he played 2 drives. I think he had like 10. I don't have the stats up right now, but I will say the passes he threw were better than Trey Lance's passes.
Yeah.
Like Trey Lance's best pass, I don't even think was as good as Trevor Lawrence's best pass. Because again, Trey Lance's dude wide open. Trevor Lawrence's best pass, he hits Marvin Jones, who was pretty tightly covered, but he put it in a spot where only Marvin Jones could get it.
Yeah. Well, just go through your list, Hunter. So you had 5.
Okay, so I have Trey at 5, Trevor at 4.
Mm-hmm.
I have Mac at 3. I have Justin Fields at 2, and I have Zach Wilson at 1.
Interesting.
And for me, it's not necessarily on paper like the numbers from the game or QBR. Like I have Zach Wilson at 1 because he's making like a ton of off-platform throws. He's got like zip on the ball. Some of his guys were covered. Justin Fields was great. He was running around and stuff. But again, his big highlight plays, the guys were pretty much wide open.
Yeah.
And he was playing 2s the whole game. And Mac, I think, like from what I saw, I think he did okay. I didn't see anything like spectacular in the first game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and especially you were saying with Zach Wilson having the zip on the ball, there was one of the highlight passes I saw. It was on a fucking rope. Yeah. It was tight spiral, and I was like, okay, that's pretty fucking good. Especially because when you saw Trey Lance, like he did have some like wobbly balls.
Yeah.
Oh, wobbly balls.
Yeah, you don't want that.
So, I mean, do you guys, because Austin, I assume your number 1 was not Zach Wilson.
No. So I'll just run through my list.
Yeah.
So I had Trevor at 5. Just nothing Trevor did really impress me. Like I think he was accurate, but they were like, I think he threw like 3 curl routes, like to Marvin Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, he didn't look.
There was one comeback to Marvin Jones that it was pretty impressive. And the last throw to Marvin Jones was impressive.
Like, as far as that, like he looked like he had good timing on his curl routes and his comebacks and stuff, but he didn't really pop out like athletically.
Watch the last throw, dude.
I watched it. And
I
then
think a lot of the Trevor issues were he immediately faced pressure a lot.
Yeah. I would say my number 4, I would put Trey Lance, but I do think like when he looked good. I think he'll be Josh Allen type where you give him like 2 or 3 years to develop. He'll be good if they build around him. But like that bomb was pretty nice. That was a pretty accurate bomb, but the guy was wide open, like you're saying. Then for number 3, I'd put Mac Jones, because Mac Jones was just like, he just looked like a Patriots quarterback, just pocket presence.
Just a white dude.
The running back's wide open, check down, like just crisscross routes, like short intermediate throws. He looks like he's gonna fit in real well there.
Yeah.
And so for my number 2, I'd put Zach Wilson because, like you guys were saying, his zip on the ball and his nice tight spiral was looking good. But he only threw 9 passes, so it's kind of hard to put him up higher than those other guys. But so he went 6 for 9, and he hit 5 different receivers. So he's spreading it around.
Yeah, that's impressive.
He looks like he's pretty like decently mobile, and he's got a nice arm. So I'd like to see some more of Zach Wilson, but I'd say for the debut, I'd put him at 2. And then number 1, I'm going to put Justin Fields because he was 14 for 20, 142 yards, a touchdown, no picks, and 5 rushing attempts, 33 yards and a touchdown. So he was like dual threat. Like he looks like he could be a superstar in the NFL if he like pans out.
But again, with Justin Fields, like I just think like the one highlight touchdown, the dude is literally like wide open. There's not a dude.
Well, what do you want him to do? You want him to pass up the wide open guy and throw a rope into somebody?
That's not what I'm saying. But all I'm saying is like I don't think that performance is conducive of a real NFL game against a number 1, like the starter defense, I guess. Because I don't think Jimmy Graham is going to be that wide open right there.
I mean, you never know.
True.
People get open. You got to find the open guy. It's a good thing he found the open guy. You don't want to see
I'm not
highlight where there's a guy wide open anymore.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying if we're comparing.
But I'm not even saying like the passing blew my mind, but like his ability to run, like he looks like he'll be really dangerous in the NFL.
We all knew he was a hot dogger.
Yeah. I mean, he's a hot dogger and he's a stud, and he got passed up by a lot of people.
So what do we think about this? I think Jake and I had pretty similar lists.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of convinced me on Justin Fields. I didn't realize he played that much. I'd be willing to switch my Zach and Justin if you'd be willing to switch your Trevor and Trey.
Trevor and Trey.
See, that's my list.
That's what I'm saying. So that's
But Trevor threw 6 completions, got sacked twice, fumbled on one of those sacks.
Yeah, but he recovered it, and the sacks weren't his fault.
See, that's when it came to mine, it seemed from what I saw from the Jags game, it seemed like like Trevor was getting more pressure than Trey Lance. So, and maybe it's just because they're third string lineman or whatever, second string lineman.
Yeah.
So I put Trevor above Trey Lance.
I will switch him because I've been watching the little YouTube highlights, and you see Trey Lance's line is blocking the shit out of those people.
That's what I'm saying. Like there are
Trevor's getting like immediate pressure.
There are passes Trey Lance through where you're like, ugh. And
Trey Lance, he completed 5 passes on 14 attempts, and one of those was the 80-yard touchdown.
Yeah, that's
so, and to me, that just shows inconsistency, and that's the most important thing.
And
like 2 big fuck ups, like really don't make up for, or 2 big plays might not make up for 2 big fuck ups.
A little insight about also maybe why Trevor didn't look too impressive. Jags coaching staff has come out and said that we are not going to see the real offense in the preseason. This is like a standard.
It's a smoke and mirrors.
This is a standard.
Well, I fucking hope so.
Because
if their line isn't better than what they've been playing, like that's alarming. You might not want to put Trevor until you get some hops.
I think the second preseason game against the Saints, there's going to be the whole interior basically is going to be backup. So that's going to be interesting. But we'll get to that in a new segment we got working.
I just hope he doesn't get hurt.
All right. So 1, I think we are in agreement. It's Justin.
Yeah.
2, we're going with Zach.
The Zach Meister, the Mormon. We got to come up with some kind of Mormon nickname for him.
Yeah, we'll think of it.
The Storm and Mormon.
Oh, maybe.
No, I hope he gets corrupted by the devil.
I mean, he
If the
might
devil
sell him.
comes to him in a sweat dream and he says, Zach Wilson, sell me your soul.
For a Super
It is pure. It is very valuable.
All right. So BFF's rookie quarterback debut rating. Number 5, Trey Lance. Number 4, Trevor Lawrence. Number 3, Mac Jones. Number 2, Zach Wilson. Number 1, Justin Fields.
Yeah, that sounds
And
good.
this is all from just the first game. At this point in time, Mac Jones has played a second game where, again, against the backups, but he did look good.
Hunter, he looked fucking really good in that game.
Yeah, he looked good. Bears
And
fans should be excited.
Preseason doesn't matter.
When the pocket breaks down and he's like scrambling, it looks so funny because you can tell he's not athletic, but he's got so much heart and he's getting away from those guys. He dinks it off.
Did you guys, was it sent in the group about what Andy Dalton said? Or was that just
where
something I
he's
saw?
like, it's my time.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, Justin's going to have a great career. But right now, it's my time to shine.
Well,
Andy Dalton said that?
Yeah.
But Jake,
everyone's like, oh my God, Justin Fields is doing so good. And he's like, hey, trust me.
Settle down, fellas. The Red Rifle's still in town.
The beige water
I'm
pistol.
here. And I mean, hey, I hope everybody does good. So it's
Jake,
like,
what do you want Andy Dalton to say? Like,
nothing.
Justin Fields is going to take my job.
Look at him. He's 6'3". He's jacked. He runs a 4.3. Oh, man.